So yesterday I went to the 75th anniversary Peanuts themed afternoon tea at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo. I was really happy that I ended up being able to go because they only have it available until the end of this month, which is essentially today, October 31st. So yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna have time, but I managed to squeeze in a visit. This was the pinnacle of my entire career as a Snoopy slash Peanuts obsessed individual for my entire life, basically. Like, I've told this story before on my channel, but it's been a few years, so I can retell it again really briefly. When I was a kid, I was so obsessed with Snoopy. I would watch the TV show. Like, growing up, we didn't really have, cell phones, and the internet wasn't mature yet, so every time I did come across a piece of Snoopy merchandise, and by merchandise I mean stickers and pencils and stuff, as a kid, that's what you're interested in. Yeah, every time we would come across something Snoopy themed, it wasn't like super rare, but it wasn't an often occurrence. So every time I would find something Peanuts or Snoopy themed out in the wild, I would like beg my parents to buy it. And so I just always had this like scarcity mindset almost around Peanuts. I know that sounds so sad, but as a child, later on with the internet and everything, I figured out that you could like search on eBay and find all this random Snoopy crap. Sorry, I feel like I was rambling a little bit, but yeah, basically I just had this scarcity mindset around Snoopy. I felt that Peanuts merchandise, I didn't know as a child, so I just assumed that there was like not that much of it left in the world somehow, or I don't know. You know how it is with like certain characters and series, you never know which one is gonna stick around and have longevity. So I kind of always had that fear in the back of my mind that maybe Snoopy and the Peanuts gang, what if they disappear one day as well? Or what if it just gets harder and harder to find Snoopy goods? What if the manufacturers don't see any value, or they can't bring in much revenue from producing them anymore? Now obviously 30 years later, I know that that's not the case at all. I feel like in the world of, cute cartoon character Snoopy and Hello Kitty might have it tied for being at the top in terms of just invincible longevity in pop culture, in economic terms as well. But yeah, so as a child, I remember distinctly there was one day where I was watching like the Charlie Brown show. I forget the name, the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show. So I was watching it, and it was like this episode where Snoopy runs away from home. So then there was this scene where all the kids are like gathered in a circle singing Snoopy Come Home. To me, as an elementary school child at the time, this was just like the most devastating, heart-wrenching type of drama that I'd ever witnessed on TV. So I was like in front of the TV crying my eyes out, and then I remember my mom walks by and then she notices me crying, right? So she immediately, this is the crazy part, I didn't even have to tell her or say anything. Immediately she comes over and she's like, "Oh no, baby, are you crying because the Snoopy show is gonna get canceled?" Which I didn't even know at that point, by the way. So now I'm like doubly distressed, right? First by the storyline, and then secondly by this new revelation that the show itself is going to be canceled and I'm not going to have that Sunday afternoon slot or whenever the show aired to look forward to anymore. But the fact that she didn't even have to ask me, like she knew I was crying over Snoopy in some capacity. Not that there's any possibility of me having a fight with one of my friends at school, or I don't know, maybe I stubbed my toe or something. No, like I guess it's a mother's intuition. She knew, oh, this girl is probably crying over Snoopy in some way, shape, or form, because I was just that obsessed. So yeah, needless to say, when I found out about this whole ass Peanuts themed afternoon tea at the Imperial Hotel, no less, I really didn't have a choice, did I, but to go. So shout out, by the way, to one of my longtime subscribers on Instagram. I forget her handle name, I'm sorry, and I can't check because I'm filming on my phone right now, but we've been mutually following each other for a couple of years, just virtual friends, like I've never met her in person. But recently I saw on her stories that she was in Tokyo for some special occasion. She might still be in Tokyo because even her recent stories, it seems like she's in Tokyo. They're all like pictures of hauls from the Kombini and other places in Tokyo. It seems like she's in Tokyo. So I don't know. Did you like move here, girl? She's one of those, she gives me like crazy rich Asians vibes. So yeah, sorry girl, not trying to put your business all over my channel, but thank you to her, because without her posts of her experience at the Snoopy afternoon tea, this would not have even gotten on my radar. But since it did, obviously I had to go. It was just as charming and cute and whimsical as you could possibly imagine. Now, the only thing that, I'm sorry, but I do have to keep it 100% honest about is the taste of the food itself. Probably the worst food I've ever tasted. I'm not even exaggerating, like konbini food tasted better than some of the stuff that was on that afternoon tea, little aesthetic rack thing. It was not good. The scone tasted like cardboard. The pumpkin soup was actually pretty good because they had something else. Oh, they had like a caramel pudding layer at the bottom of the pumpkin soup. So that was quite creamy and like a unique taste. Everything else was just cold and stale. Even like the Charlie Brown shirt hamburger thing, that was like cold and clammy, and I don't know, it wasn't like I want to throw up bad, but it was just bland bad, like really really bland and worse than konbini. Because the taste was so bad, I actually think I can say unironically that I could probably cook something better tasting, okay? And that's coming from somebody who cannot boil water. On the one day a month that I eat some sort of instant ramen noodle, I literally just pour the regular room temperature water into the cup and I microwave the whole thing because ain't nobody got time for that, okay? So even I'm quite certain that I could come up with something better tasting than any of the little morsels on that rack. Yeah. The Snoopy bread was also, even the drink, like aside from the tea, they had like this strawberry tea of the day, which I got. So that was fine. But then they had also this like cookies and cream flavored latte. That was really bad too. The taste was really watered down, which happens when you have iced drinks, but I'm talking about from the get-go, it was very bland and watered down. Anyway, all this to say, don't expect too much by way of having your taste buds wowed when you go to the Imperial Hotel. I'm not sure about their other restaurants or offerings. I went to the Aqua Lounge, which is where they were holding this particular Peanuts afternoon special, but yeah, I hope it's not indicative of the rest of the food that they serve. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be staying at the Imperial Hotel anytime soon.